Okay, this is day number 4 of our Robotics is Fun Android Robotics Challenge 2015, and I'm at the Robotics is Fun website here, as you can see. Today we're going to look at how the scoring is going to go for our competition, which we're calling Robotics Center Stage. We're going to learn how to make our robot respond to verbal commands, so you'll be able to tell your robot to go forward, backward, right, left, whatever. Using your voice rather than pushing buttons. And then we're going to learn about something called Live Avatar Creator, and that's going to be for you to create the face for your robot that will be showing on the Android device, which is going to be mounted on your robot. But first here, I'm looking at a document. You can get this document at the Robotics is Fun website. It's our scoring for our competition, which is coming up later. And this is how it works. We're going to have a panel of 3 judges that are going to be watching your robot and scoring your robot for these things. First, you need to drive out to the stage. Of course, this year's field, all it has on it is a stage. You can add things to the field here as you see fit, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So if you drive out to the stage, get up on that stage, that's 5 points. Turn and face the audience is 5 more points. Then if you're able to introduce yourself, give the robot's name, talk about the robot's builder and so forth, that's 10 points, and you got to keep that under 15 seconds. You can make that real short. We want to make this whole thing go kind of quickly. And then if your robot has a face and it can move its lips while it is speaking or singing or whatever it's doing, and then the design of the robot face, what it looks like, that's going to be worth 16 points. And then there's going to be some moves that your robot will be asked to do. And these can be part of the interview, which I'm going to talk about in a minute here. But you're going to want to do these moves: a shimmy, a shuffle, and a spin. A shimmy is going left, right, left, right, left, right. A shuffle is frontward, backward, and a spin is a spin around 360 degrees. They are 3 points apiece, and they can be part of this interview, and the interview is worth 25 points. The interview is an opportunity for either you or whoever is the MC, and it's probably going to be me, to talk to the robot, ask questions of the robot, and it can all be scripted out. So you'll need to have a script on what the interview should look like. That's worth 25 points, and that's going to be 30 to 45 seconds. And then, worth the big points here, 30 points, is your talent. And the talent can be just about anything that you want. It can be you maybe put a black line on the field somewhere, and you're able to do that as long as it comes back up again after you're through, and then drive somewhere, follow the black line, and pick up a part and bring it back to the stage. That'd be a great talent. A Mr. Know-It-All would be a great talent. Setting your robot up to be a comedian, that would also be a great talent. So there's a lot of different ways that you can show talent. It's up to you. Be creative here. It's worth 30 points, and you want to keep that under 45 seconds. So for those things, there's a total of 100 points. Then there's going to be some subjective scoring there as well, and it's going to be up to the judges, and we're calling them style points: what your robot looks like, how entertaining your talent was, and so forth. And you'll get between 0 and 10 points for the style points bonus. You can touch your robot up to 4 times, but beyond that, a 5-point penalty for each touch of the robot. And the interview can be conducted by the builder or the MC. So if you're shy to be in front of people, it's going to be in the UW Fond du Lac Theater with people there watching. So if you're a little nervous about that, you can let the MC do the interview, or you can do it yourself if you're comfortable in that situation. So that's our scoring for Robotics Center Stage, and maybe as we move along here, we might change things up a little bit, change the scoring as we see what's more and less difficult as we move along, as this is the first time, of course, that we've done any of this stuff. Okay? So if you have questions on that, be sure to call me or email me. Next, we're going to go ahead and get into App Inventor. And I'm going to go to the App Inventor website here. There's a link to that on Robotics is Fun as well. And we always get the same warning, and we'll continue. Now, this is what we did last time. We set up this button remote control. If you do not have this set up, or if you don't have this right, you can go to Robotics is Fun, and you can download my completed template right here. Download that and then import it into yours, and you'll have exactly what I have here. If you did your own, great. Just leave it as is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add verbal commands to our robotics control. First off, to do that, we are going to look at our table arrangement here. And you can see I've already changed it. We started out with 3 columns, and we had 5 rows. If you still have 5 rows there, you're going to want to change that to 6 rows, because we're going to put something right down here underneath the disconnect button. And that thing we're going to put there is called a label. A label is just a place to print out some text for the user, you, or who is ever using this application to look at. And our eventual goal with this label here, it's going to be telling us what words we said. So let's change the text for label 1 to what was said. I think that would make some sense if we changed it that way. That's going to tell us what this label is actually for. Okay, so we've got, we added to our table arrangement, we added a row, and then we added a label down below. We also need to add something over here. For some reason on this computer, the headings are not coming up, and I'm not sure why, but it's here, and you need to add a speech recognizer. And just drop that into your screen, and you'll see it goes into the hidden components area there, the speech recognizer. So we've added a label, we've added a speech recognizer, and that's all we need. Excuse me, we do need one more thing. We need to add a button as well. We're going to add another button, and we're going to put that button right here. And let's go ahead and make this some color. And what this button is going to do, it's going to start our text to, not our text to speech, our speech recognizer. So let's make the text on this button say speech, and let's call this button 1 speech, just so we know what it is when we get over into our blocks area. So we've added a label, we've added a button, and we've added a speech recognizer. Now we're ready to go over to our blocks, and here's all our code nice and neat and all set to go. We've got our procedures all written for forward, left, right, and backward. That's really important that you have those done, as you'll see in just a minute here. If you don't, you're going to want to get those done, and it's going to make this voice procedure much, much easier. And I'm just kind of arranging things here. And you can see I've collapsed all my blocks as well. So everything looks nice and neat. Okay. So first off, we're going to take our speech button, and we're going to pull out this whenspeech.click. Okay, so when we click that speech button, we're going to do something. And what we want to do is we want to start the speech recognizer. So let's click on the speech recognizer, and there's a block there called speech recognizer.getText. We're going to click that right in there. Now, if my phone was hooked up right now, and I went and I ran this application and I push the speech button, the speech recognizer would come up. And you could begin talking, but it's not going to do anything. It will get a result, but we haven't done anything with that result yet. So that's all this does. When we push that button, we're going to call up the speech recognizer. So next, we pull out this block, when speech recognizer dot after getting text. And you got a little orange block here that is called result. Okay, so what this block does is after we call the speech recognizer and get the text, it will do whatever we put in this do loop right here. And also, if we put our mouse, don't click it or anything, but just put the mouse above that thing called result. There's something there called get result, and there's a set result too. We're going to be concerned with the get result. So what we want to do to start out and to test this out, we want to put whatever text was gathered from our speech recognizer and have it print out on that label. And the way we do that is we click on our label 1 over here, and we pull out this block, set label 1.text2. And then we put our mouse above there. Don't click until you see it, and then we're going to say get result. Okay, now what this application is going to do, let's go back to our designer here. When we push the speech button, the speech recognizer will start. It will listen for you to speak. When you're done speaking, it will think for a minute, and then down here, it will, on this label, it will print out whatever you said to it. So go ahead and give that a try, and you'll see how the speech recognizer works. And you can pause the video here and go ahead and do that. But next, we are going to learn about a very important concept in just about any programming language, and that is something called an if statement. And we're going to pull this out, and you find the if statement under control here at the very top. And you can see the if statement has got 2 different sockets to it. The first socket is a condition it is looking for to be true. Okay? So if whatever is in this socket is true, then it will do whatever we put in this socket. Let's go ahead and put this if statement in the speech recognizer. Now, the way we're going to test to see what we maybe said, like the word forward, if the word forward is in whatever we said, we want our robot to drive forward. The way we do that is go to text, and we look at these blocks, and there's a handy little block here called contains text and piece, and we're going to put that as our conditional statement. Then we're going to get our result again. And the piece we're going to be looking for is the word forward. Let's go back to text here, and we've got these 2 quotation marks. And we're going to put that there, and we're going to type in the word forward. Now, be very careful when you type in the word forward. Make sure you don't use a capital letter anywhere, because the speech recognizer does everything in lowercase. So make sure that that's all lowercase. So now what this is going to do, our speech recognizer, after getting text, is going to print out on our label the result. Then it's also going to test and see if our result contained the word forward. If it does contain the word forward, what do we want to do? Well, we want to go forward. So we're going to call our procedure forward. So simple. And you can go ahead and test this out now. You should be able to connect to your robot and with the Bluetooth and so forth, and rather than pushing the button to go forward, you should be able to push the speech button here. The speech recognizer will come up, and then if you said the word forward, your robot will go forward. Let's right-click on this whole if statement and duplicate it. Now we need to repeat this for going backward. And all we do is change the piece of text we're looking for to backward. Or whatever word you want to say to make it go backward. You could just say back or anything. Any word you want to do. So now if it contains the word backward, we're going to call our backward procedure. And you can go ahead and duplicate all along here with your left and with your right. And then you're going to want to put a stop in there as well. So just do it the very same way. Just stack up these if statements with all the different words you want to be able to tell your robot to do. And with whatever word it is, make it do whatever it is you want it to do. So go ahead and do your forward, backward, left, right, and stop. And hopefully everything works out. And again, if you're having problems with that, go ahead and email me or give me a call. Okay? If you have questions about that. Next, we're going to do something really fun. This is Avatar Creator, and you can download this Avatar Creator program on the Robotics is Fun website. Let's click back over there while this is starting. There's the Avatar Creator software download. This is actually a free version of something called Crazy Talk. Crazy Talk is a great program if you want to go ahead and buy that, but this is an older free version that I found of Crazy Talk, and we're going to use it here in our robotics class. So I've got Avatar Creator up here. There's something here that says check for update. No, we don't want to do that, or it's going to ask us to buy the program. And you can see we've got a woman's face here, and she kind of looks like she's alive. And if we push this play button
Welcome
here,
to face fitting calibration procedure. Simply follow.
She begins to speak, and her lips move with the words that she is saying. There are other models we can use. Let's click on this gorilla and see what happens when we click on the gorilla. Okay, so now instead of the woman, we've got the gorilla.
Welcome to face-fitting calibration procedure.
And the
Simply
gorilla is
follow the
speaking.
voice instructions and check.
Now, this is how we're going to create the face of your robot, is with this Avatar Creator. And what we're going to eventually wind up doing is take this face and make a video of it, and then in our app inventor, we're going to fast forward and rewind that video, and you can't see that happening really, to places where the face is speaking or the face is resting like it is now, depending on what your robot is doing. Now, you can use any of these faces that come built in Avatar Creator. That's fine. But if you want to use a custom face, you can take a photograph of your own. I took a photograph of my cat. This isn't my cat, but I took a picture of my cat with my phone, and then I uploaded
Welcome
it
to face-fitting calibration procedure.
I uploaded it here to Avatar Creator, and I was able to make my cat look like it was speaking. So you can do that with any photograph you want, and I'm going to give you an example of that right now. Let's just say that I want my robot to look like Elvis Presley. So I'm just going to Google Elvis Presley, and I'm going to look for images of Elvis Presley. Now, when you're looking for images, you want to get an image that is kind of a straight-on picture. And I'm going to look for a kind of a straight-on picture of Elvis here. And you kind of want it, instead of smiling or whatever, you want the picture to be maybe have his lips closed. So let's see if I can find something like that, a picture like that of Elvis. And let's choose this one right here. And I'm going to choose View Image. All right, so that one's perfect for using in Avatar Creator. So I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to say Save Image As, and put it in my Pictures library, and I'm going to save. A lot of times that'll wind up in your download folder, so kind of keep track of where that goes. Now I'm going to go back to Avatar Creator and push this little import image button. That's the picture there. And I'm going to navigate out and try to find that picture that I've got in my pictures library. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and import that into my avatar creator. First thing that comes up is they give you an opportunity to crop this. So you're going to want to crop this into the shape of a phone. You can either go landscape or portrait. Let's go real long and narrow like a phone might be, like that. So this is the only area that's going to wind up in our avatar in Avatar Creator. Then you go to this screen, and it's asking you to identify where the corners of your photograph's eyes are and where the corners of your photograph's mouth are. So you set it up just like they've got the picture over here. You move these little icons to those places, and we say OK. Now if we look at our Elvis picture, by gosh, our Elvis kind of looks alive, and if we push
Welcome to face fitting calibration procedure.
you can
Simply
see now
follow
we have
the
a
voice
speaking Elvis. We can do a couple more things to our picture if we want by pushing advanced facial settings. We can change the eyes, and we can change the teeth. For now, let's change the teeth. Let's go ahead and give Elvis some rotted teeth. Oh, that doesn't look too good, but we'll see what happens here.
Welcome to face fitting calibration procedure.
Okay,
Simply
so now we've got a talking Elvis with rotted teeth. The other thing we can do, and if we want to change the eyes, it's pretty important to have our eyes fitted really well, and the way we do that is up here with this vector basic facial mode. And we're going to turn that on, and it lets us adjust exactly where the eyes start and stop and the shape of them and so forth. So you want to work out the shape of the eyes and get it pretty close in that case. You can do the eyebrows here and the nose, and you can get everything to fit just right. Now I can go back to advanced facial settings and go to eyes, and let's say we want Elvis's eyes to look like something else. How about like that? Okay, we can change the size a little bit of these eyes so they maybe look a little bit more natural. We can change exactly where they're located too with some of these other controls. So go ahead and play around with that and see what you come up with. But now let's see what Elvis
Welcome to
looks like.
face fitting calibration procedure.
Elvis
Simply follow the voice instruction.
Elvis has got funny eyes, and he's got rotted teeth. So you can go ahead and think real carefully about this, what you want your robot to look like, and have a purpose for it. Have a reason for why you're making your robot look like it does. For instance, if my robot's talent was to sing an Elvis song, well, this might be kind of an interesting and humorous face to put on an Elvis singing robot. Okay? So that's Avatar Creator. We'll be playing with this a little bit again next week. But if you'd like, go ahead and set up whatever face you want, or we'll have some time in class on Saturday to do that as well. So that's what we went over in our session number 4 of the amazing Android Robotics Challenge 2015. We'll see you next week.